What do you mean? I'm there. Good thing. All right, so we should be live now. Excellent. Oh, why is my phone vibrating? Seriously, the moment I jump on, nothing much important. Right, so. I'm going to be pushing my eyeballs to the absolute limit today because I have to do some SMD repair work on a Roland synth, and then I've got to fix the accompanying guitar to go along with it as well. Yeah, so let's go over to that one there, and this is what we're looking at. This is a Roland GR33 guitar synth. Kind of cool units. I've actually got two in at the moment. This one came in with Godin LG XT guitar. Pretty cool guitar, does a whole bunch of things that. It's sat in storage for years, same with this, and they didn't work. The customer brought them in. Got a busted set of jacks on the Godin guitar because it actually uses switching, so you can either have electric or acoustic sounds coming out of one jack or out of individual jacks. Then you've got the 13-pin MIDI output as well, or MIDI. It's basically 13-pin hexaphonic out, so each string has its own saddle. Plus you've also got a line for data as well. Then we've also got this came into with it as well, and it wasn't working, all that jazz. Came up with low battery error. Obviously it sat for years. Changed out the battery with it, known good one, and double checked it twice as well. But what happens when you power it on? There we go. Still comes up battery low. Now that's a bit of a problem. Bit of a pain in the butt. So if I go into that there we go. And we take a look here at the service manual. So the service manual gives us information that we need. And always double check with the error codes and that just to see what's happened. And if we take a look here, battery low message means internal backup battery, which maintains the data, and the memory is low, replace the battery. Obviously that's been done, it's the first thing that gets done. However, down the bottom here, there's a wonderful little star section. When you put lithium battery, the error message appear, please check. Sorry, the message upper. Good old classic, poorly translated Japanese from back in the day. So we've got CPU, 30-pin diode DA40, pin 30 that should say. Resistors are 270, 271, and 272, and then op-amp IC43. CPU tests okay, that should be fine. We're getting voltage in to the unit, and then up through the diode as well, so the diode's okay. But if we actually go up to the circuit diagram here, we take a wee bit of a look, and we go all the way down here over to here. Where are we? I was just looking at it before. There we go. So this is where we've actually got the supply for that memory and all the rest of that. So what we've got is we have this here, BT1, so that's the battery. So the battery is connected here. There's a diode here. +5 is coming down this way. So you've got +5 there. And then you've +5 minus a diode drop. That's Schottky. So low voltage drop. I'll double check exactly what it is. If we follow this line here, so the junction between the two halves of the diode, because actually diode in a single package, comes up here. So that's VDD. VDD is coming out of this, so that is the RAM. Is it? Yep. Yep, that's IO pins there. There's that. Yep. Goes down here. There we go. So that's the battery going up through there. Battery out there. This is an op-amp, so it's basically acting as a buffer just to prevent any current going by. Gives an even higher impedance. 1 meg there, 10k there, and then 10k on that side. So this is just being connected as a non-inverting buffer in through there, and the input impedance of an op-amp is theoretically infinite. So minimal voltage needs to go through, and of course this op-amp as well sources its own current and voltage and that from the rails. So it's going to get stuff from there. That's going to go out. That's the battery terminal. So it's going to battery terminal on this big mamma jamma here. So where are we? Where are you? Test reset. Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Unfortunately, it's a really, really nice scan of a document, but it's actually not, doesn't actually have text and that on here, so it's all vector, and I could convert it over to text and whatnot, but Adobe's stuff is absolutely balked these days, so nothing works properly. Here we go. So that's going in on pin 30 here of the main CPU. Excellent. So yeah, so we can see that there's that's saying output there, and then we've got that. So this should be providing voltage. So we could have an issue with this, which is if that's shorted out, that's going to mean the battery's not outputting its voltage. If this is going bad, that's not sending it where it needs to either. Honestly, it's one of those things where it's just easier to just pull out all those components, replace them with new ones, which I do have. There we go. So I got a stack of parts here. So that's the op amp, that's the Schottky barrier diode, and these are the resistors. Big massive packages for such little teeny tiny things. Absolutely minuscule. Like you can see on the thumbnail just how tiny these are. So we're looking at 0802 size on these, if I remember correctly, if I ordered it. 080, where are we? Show me what it says on the thing. Thin film, compliant SMD. 0805, sorry. 0805. I keep getting my numbers mixed up. Oh, there we go. Let's unplug that one. Let's turn that off. Now, the absolutely annoying part is that those components, even though there is so much loaded topside on this board, underneath the board, whole thing has to come out. What a pain in the ass. So, whatever. Get it on out. Okay, so we've got a couple of screws there that have to come out. Now, where'd my screwdrivers and everything go? Nope. Because I need my JIS ones, which are over in the other room. Of course they are. Okay. That one and that one. Now, Japanese products. Here's the good old-fashioned JIS drivers. You can tell by the little dot in the corner. That's the 13-pin socket there for the Roland GK pickups. Except you don't need to do just Roland GK, and you can actually make your own hexaphonic pickup quite easily. I was doing some reading the other day on sort of like these kinds of pickups and the history of them and how far they go back, and apparently Bartolini did these kinds of pickups, like hexaphonic type ones, all the way back in the late 70s, which is kind of wild. But, you know, that was a time when people had a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs, and they wanted to do everything they could to make squeechy, squelchy, bloopy, synthy sounds using a guitar, because that was just what it was all about. Okay, so I've got all of those that have to be removed. Many screws. There we go. My favorite little tool. I love this thing. It's just like, ow, sharp. Helps if I don't get shards of metal shoved into my finger. Just like an old-fashioned like aerial type thing. But it's got a magnet on the end, so I can actually just like go like that and grab screws off. Far simpler than trying to mess around with pliers and tweezers or whatever else. Just magnetically grab it and away we go. Do, 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 do. Okay, so that's actually glued down there and soldered down in that corner. Alright, cool. So that just stays there. We've still got screw up here. Where's the other one? Should be one more screw somewhere. Let's get these cables out as well. Come on. Come on. There we go. And this one. There we go. Out you come. Come on. I've loosened your clip. You are free to go. There we go. But, hello, screw. Where are you? I know that there is another screw here somewhere. Is there, or am I just going screwy? Oh, of course. Right. The top half. Top thing. That's gonna be one of those ones, isn't it? You bastard. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get this stupid bloody thing out, and that's going to require getting something underneath it to zip it up. Guitar string. I'm going to need a guitar string of sorts, because it's going to be way too hard to actually get out with a piece of tooth locks. Hey, Sky Man, how are ya? Oh, wait, no. Oh, yes. Excellent. That's what I want. Lucky, lucky man. Too small, too big. That thing, other size. One more time feeling. What we got here? That's way too huge. There we go. Now the board will come loose. Stay. Oh, come here, bloody thing. And of course that's non-ferrous. Stay. Lighting. Come here. Alright. So, yep, okay, so yeah, let's do that over here. Come on, fingers. Hands like vices. Yeah, mutt. Come on. Oh, negatory. Alright. I need my grippy things, and I need something soft to wrap around. Now, where's my bits of rubber? Rubber bits. Where are you? Let's not have that on its side. No. Seriously, where is it? Lighting. Nope. There we go. One of them. That'll do. Alright. Those stupid guitar lock washer Duvalackers come in handy from time to time. Sometimes, anyway. Come on, get out. There we go. There we go. These things, I have like stacks of them in the shop because, you know, players for some reason don't want like good quality strap locks. They just want to use these silly rubber things, so may as well have them. There we go. Did I miss something? I missed 2 screws because I'm a bloody dork. That one, and then this one. Once we've got that out, we should be good to go. Hey. What do you... It's always another bloody thing, isn't there? Ground connections. Also actually remove them. God damn it. My hair is looking absolutely wild today. That's what happens when I don't, like, dry it and that before I go to bed. That's why I often wear a hat. Not to hide my receding hairline, surprisingly. Just to hide this, madness of a mop. My barber's all the way back in Campbelltown. There's no one good out this way. I'm in a hipster area that charges way too much for a haircut, and none of these bastards know how to do a proper wet shave. Seriously, it's like anyone these days can just go, oh yeah, bro, I know how to, like, wield a pair of clippers and stuff, and I've seen, like, things on YouTube, I can be a barber. Yeah, sick, bro. Meanwhile, my barber, Paul, he's been doing this since 1987. He's been doing this almost as long as I've been alive. And he knows his shit. You go in there and it is like an old school barber, like the best kind. But nah, there's no one like that out this way. So I have to travel all the way out to Campbelltown to go and get my hair cut. Get my head cut, get my beard trim. There we go. Excellent. Grounds are disconnected. Grounds out. Cool. Excellent. More shielding underneath. Oh, dead bug! Dead bug! Found a bug in the system, literally. There. Yeah. Literally. Found a bug in the system. And also found my remote too. So, lovely. Lovely stuff. Ugh. Nasty. Okay, let's see if there's any, like, damage or anything to the boards. If there's any corrosion or anything that might have messed around with stuff. Yeah, now these pots are a little dusty, but nothing too crazy. Looking good there. Looking good there. These switches are still okay because I tested them and they were switching over fine. Don't have any leakage, which is good because that is a problem with Roland and similar products of this era. They actually do start leaking. Okay, so I need to find, where is that? Because the battery is on that side, and then it's going to be near it. 200 something, two various numbers. Where are you? Okay, let's take a look at the schematic, because there's also the board layout as well. Because it was 270, 271, and 272, which were needed. So it was 270, 271, 272, which were these ones. And then on the main board, so this is what I like about old service documents. They actually had, like, everything laid out there so you can see stuff and you go, oh, I can actually search around on the board, see where everything is. Awesome. Okay, 220, 219, 231. Inductors. This is the back end of the board. Okay, cool. So that's upside down. It's going to be located somewhere on the left quadrant somewhere, most likely. Okay. 216, 214. Ah, there we go. 271, 272, which is located right here beside the big oval hole in the center. There we go. Alright, so it's located down here, around here, which means I have to remove this shielding, which is copper-plated plastic, which means it will potentially melt, unfortunately, which is a pain in the ass. It's the same thing happens with a couple of different models of Roland of the era. So you just want to be kind of quick with it, as quick as you can, because they don't exactly make this stuff anymore. Roland are not very good at keeping parts of their older equipment. They are they're no Yamaha, that's for sure. At least a local like branch of Roland would service a lot of the older stuff, but they don't do it anymore. And now you got a bunch of them there that are starting to retire, so a lot of that knowledge is going. Come on. Off. Okay. Cool. Excellent. Sweet. Cleared off. 271, 272. So let's see what we got for 271 and 272. So what are they supposed to be again? Main board. 271 is supposed to be a meg and 272 is 10K. Cool. Okay, so 271. Testing in circuit, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing else with them. They're not like they're in parallel. Battery's still there. You idiot. Take the battery out, you dork. Herp derp. Come out. There we go. Well, now I can test it without actually worrying about whether the battery is going to give me negative resistance. Alright. So 271. 1 meg. And 10K. Okay, so they're still okay. Okay, so in that case, I need to go through to the diode and the op amp and 270. So that's 270, that's the op amp, and that's the diode. What's 270 measuring at? $10K, right. So that leaves most likely the diode and the op amp that are going to be the problematic ones. Which, you know, makes sense. Hey, bloody thing. Okay. Get out of the way for the moment. Where are we? Because that's where I need to go to here. Zoom in. Alright. Sweet. Now I need my hot air gun. That's running away. Stupid cable management. Come on, you bloody idiot. Over this way. Thank you. Cool. All right. Ooh, lungs. Let's try that again. Flux. Good old flux pen. Love this thing. No clean my ass. All right, so what are we currently running on? Don't need that much. Need that down there. No, too low. That should be about right. I need a little bit of cap on just to protect some of the plastic stuff around it. So this stuff here, Kapton, yeah, that's like the trade name for it, but similar type thing. It's good because it just provides a little bit of a barrier to heat. You got hot air and you can stop the air flow. Sweet. This stuff is highly temperature stable, so it's not going to have any issues like burning up or melting or anything like that, which is what we want. Cool. You know, for something like this where I'm just removing and that's probably not even really necessary, but better to be precautious. Just to minimize the chance of any stupid little issues coming up. There we go. Sweet. I've got to remove that diode and I've got to remove that op amp. Let's get a wee bit of flux on there because flux makes everything better. Just a wee bit there and a wee bit there. Grab my tweezers. Let me start heating. It's just as simple as that. Oh. So this is why I'm not a huge fan of when people say, oh, SMD is so hard. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? You do the job. Like, it's not that difficult, you know? Do the job, pull the parts off, clear it off, and away you go. Like, I did that bear ride. Like, I don't have my loop on, don't have anything like that. I got a silly little like head visor thing so I can see up close if I need to, but I didn't need that for this. This is what you're going to find in almost every like piece of audio equipment or similar. It's not like we're talking micro SMD stuff like on an iPad or an iPhone or other sort of handheld electronics. This is just like relatively easy. Well, it's not relatively easy though. It's me finding where I put all my shit because I'm useless. God damn this ADHD autism brain thing of mine. I'm great at remembering shit, just not where I put anything down directly in front of me. Object permanence, you know. There we go. Okay, so we've got them out. They can piss off. Now what I need to do is remove the old solder. All that jazz. Alright, excellent. So it doesn't look like there's any corrosion or anything on those pads. I can zoom right in a little bit further. Look at that. You can see just how small it all is. Now there's two ways I can go about installing the components. I can either hand solder them in, or I can use solder paste, which I'll probably use solder paste on this one. Just a wee bit. See if I can find where I put the damn thing. Where is it? Where's my bloody I have a whole syringe of solder paste. The old leaded stuff. I grabbed it and I brought it back here. But where the bloody hell did I put it? Put it there, no. There, nope, did it fall off the table? Did not. Not up there, not there. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it by hand then. How annoying. Bastard. I'll just quickly check my other area. That's not it, that's not it, that's not it. God damn it, okay. Because I can't seem to organize where I put all my shit. Well done. That's not it, that's not it. It's not there, it's not there. Unless I didn't bring it over from other workshop, which I'm sure I did. I'm sure I brought it with me. Yeah, alas no. Okay. Okie dokie. No, that's chip quick, that's grease. There's the parts, there's the tools. Oh, hang it up, hang it up. A blue tack. No. Ah, damn it. Alright, fine, I'll do it by hand. Same. But I need my superfine wire. I have this stuff when I have to do SMD work, because look at how tiny it is. Look at it. Because that is, what is that? 0.046. Like, that's insanely small. Although I am going to need eyeballs for this one, so I'm going to have to go out wider. There we go. Need this up close. Up close. There we go. Being super dorky. Don't need a don't need a microscope, so something old school like this will generally do the jobby. Cool. All right. Now, I need the parts. and Alright. There we go. Connect that for a sec. Alright, so let's start with this first of all. Clean this mofo off. Come here. There we go. Right. Put my stuff on angle, get my tongue out of the right angle as well. Cool. Yep. Good up. No, I don't want to leave a goddamn review, you bastards. Seriously, I'm trying to do something. God, companies, man. We understand you're probably working on something right now, but please leave a time to review whatever the hell we're doing. No. I don't care. I don't read reviews. Most people don't read reviews, and if they do, they're all fake anyway. You idiot. Oh my god. Just managed to drop a little itty bitty teeny tiny, like smaller than a grain of rice sized part down in the hole. Because why wouldn't I? Bugger. There you are. I see you there. Stay. Once more feeling. There we go. There we go. Come on, flip over. There we go. Better. Sweet. I should have put the dollar solder on the other side, so I am going to do that. Being right-hand dominant, it was silly of me to put it on the left-hand side, because that means I have to rotate the entire board. There we go. Alright, one more time feeling. Sweet. Excellent. Let's check it up close. Good. Alright, let's get the rest of these solder joints done. So yeah, so you don't have to have any special equipment or anything to do SMD work. It's really not that hard. Not for the kind of work that we do. Doing phones and that, yeah. PlayStations, maybe. What we do, nah. Ain't any point. Alright, time to drag solder up. That's terrible, Muriel. No, that wasn't good. Too much. Try not to burn this bloody battery holder. Come on, you bloody thing. Better. Let's try that again. Yep, working hard, and I got my sexy glasses on too. Yeah. Except I really need to replace the light in this headset. Getting a bit more of an angle. I think I need to replace this tip. Starting to get a bit how's it going. There we go. Nerd! Actually, I believe you'll find that I'm something more of a geek than a nerd. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. Those back joints are a wee bit. How's it going? Alright. Cool. Cool. Yeah. He did. A lot of old engineers back in the day, this is kind of what they wore. They are useful. Like, you just, like, thump, not smash your nose like I just did. Ow. But when you, like, got something you need to, inspect kind of up close, they work well. And then you got, like, your two different diopters inside, and then you got your real sort of close one there. So if I really need to, like, see something, like, super close and assess it, like reading a part number off of an SMD bit or something, then I can. They come in handy. They're pretty cool. Now, before I go shoving everything all back together, I'm just going to give it a quick power on and test, because if that doesn't work, that basically means that I'm going to have to figure out what the hell is going on. Quickly connect those grounds. So yeah, that should deal with the issue, but if it doesn't, then that's going to probably lead to an issue either with the RAM itself or the CPU. The system's booting, so I don't know if it's going to be CPU. I would hazard a guess it's probably just going to be the RAM that's worn out. And if that's the case, well, finding it won't be the hardest thing in the world because it's still relatively modern. Cool. Alright. Let's put those into there, like so. Get in the hole. Go on, get in there. Bye, bastard. Come on. Get in there, you. There we go. Game console. This is not. This is a Roland GR33 guitar synth. Game consoles. I can't repair them, but, you know, no money in it. Ain't no money in that. Alright. So. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if this solved the issue with that. Donk. No battery. Put a battery in there first, you idiot. Get a fresh one. Fresh battery. Oh, headache. Headache, headache, headache. I have a headache. The battery. Yep, I am missing the battery. And I'm going to remove this capped on as well. Come here. There we go. Got to have our double packaged batteries because little Timmy doesn't like eating his broccoli and vegetables to keep him a big, strong, healthy young boy. But damn, those batteries, whoa, they look like dessert to him. Which, you know, I'm not against it. In Australia, batteries that are sold like these coin cells need to be packaged in double packaging. So you've got an initial plastic covering on there, and then the plastic blister that also attaches it to whatever packaging it's in. That's to stop kids from being able to open it up and swallow them and completely wreck themselves. Which is good. I like that. Cost manufacturers all of an extra like cent or two in manufacturing, but you know, means that at least kids aren't going to end up with massive holes in their tracheas. Magnifier too tight? Nah, brain too big. Brain too big. Memory damaged. Press right. Now loading factory data. Yeah, it's actually a really big problem. Young kids were basically, like I see them, kids are dumb. They stick things up their nose. They swallow things. So coin cell batteries, what happens is you swallow them and you've got an acidic esophagus. They'll go in there and they'll get stuck, or they go into the stomach. And they basically galvanically burn the skin and they start creating like more issues. And then when the battery starts leaking, they start leaking like toxic chemicals now, and like kids die from it. Neodymium magnets, yes, they were quite bad as well because they would go through and they'd actually perforate the bowel and do similar things. But what you'd end up with is kids that swallow button cell batteries, and it really messes them up. If you Google, or if you go onto YouTube and you just search up, someone did a video about why swallowing batteries is bad. Yeah. Funny title or something, but he kind of shows what happens by putting a battery in like some ham and wrapping it up, and you can see just how damaging that gets. And like some 12-month-old child, that's going to be deadly. Okay, so I gave that enough chance to charge up. Now let's see what happens when I turn it on. Fingers crossed that this is going to deal with that battery issue. Yes! Awesome. So we've now sorted that out. So either the diode, Schottky diode was bad, or that op-amp was bad. Most likely I'm going to say it's the op-amp, because op-amps, they die, they go short, they do whatever. And because that diode, that op-amp was no longer operating as a buffer, then what would happen is you wouldn't get voltage through to the CPU and the RAM and the various things where it needed to go. So yeah, good. I'm happy with that one. That can now go back together, and then we can actually fix up the rest of the setup. So let me just turn it off and turn it off again just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Unplug it. GR33 guitar synth. Awesome. So we are now working. Some good stuff. Damn, snowflakes, I used to eat car batteries for fun. Look, everyone knows that throwing car batteries into the ocean is a safe and legal thrill. That's what it's all about. Growing up, I was such a special child, I could tell the difference between windows just by tasting them. Stay. There we go. See, so it's like things like this are like regulation that I can get behind. It's reasonable. It's like not overly onus on the manufacturer or the distributors and that. It's simple stuff. Might cost them a little bit extra, but it means that the chances of something happening to someone which could be deadly or quite quite life-altering are minimized. Another one, for example, in Australia, they don't sell TC electronic polytune clips and a bunch of other tuners, because you cannot sell something now in Australia that has a button cell battery unless it is secured by two methods, usually a clip and a screw. So you can't just like easily pull them out to do it that way. So yeah, it's one of those sort of things where in Australia now there are modified versions, or because they're doing it for the Australian market, people around the world are getting them as well. For example, the Peterson Strobe Clip, one of my favorite tuners, love them to death. We couldn't get them in Australia for about 12 months until they brought out a version that was USB rechargeable. The USB rechargeable version that the rest of the world got was because of Australia. Because we changed that that law, they saw the writing on the wall and went, well, probably the EU is going to follow, and maybe the US, if someone rich enough sues someone. The Unitune was a great tuner. Like, I used to sell them all the time, and I'd recommend them to customers because if you didn't have money for the strobo clip, you'd take the Unitune, put it into strobe mode, and it was actually almost as accurate. It was really, really good for that. Polytune functionality is stupid. You don't tune 6 strings at the same time. You tune 1 string. Why do you need to strum it and like see all 6 strings at once? That's just dumb. Tell you what, man, that shit is dumb as. All right. Cool. Let's line all these up and get that there. Yeah, in Australia, we couldn't actually, the clip-on tuners and that, we couldn't actually sell them after a certain date or give them away. They actually had to be disposed of. There we go, it just needs a bit of a bridge over it. There we go. Cool. As I get on the emote. There we go. Na, 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 na. Kitty. There we go. And the final one. Come on. Ow, that's hot. Cool. Good enough for a bullet one. Sweet. Alright, so I've got that there. Just gonna give that a pot, a bit of a clean out. What's everyone up to at the moment? What time is it? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you wearing? All the important questions. There's a Monday here in Sydney, and it is all of 12:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, as always, it's a Monday. The shop is closed. So I shall be here until sometime this evening, fixing things, trying to pay the bills. There we go. Oh, itchy, 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 itchy. Now we get... Where's my solder sucker? There we go. Look, let's get some fresh solder on this mamma jamma. There we go. Get off. $7:30 on the West Coast. Wow, nice. It's actually a decent time to stream then, apparently. West Side. Ba-dunk. Yeah, right on. Thank you for that. And then I can get that thing bloody all prepped and sold and out the door. Because there'll be some Queensryche bloody fanboy out there who wants it. Because it's the only one that doesn't have the massive cracks running through the body, which is nice. All the other ones all had it just because of how they applied the graphic on it. What else was it? Bracing repair at a Tanglewood. Routing a filled Floyd route on an Ibanez someone poorly repaired. Ugh. Yeah, I can't take in other people's like half-finished repairs these days. I had someone tried to bring me in a guitar that he wanted me to like do that, and he's like tried to do fretwork and that himself, and I'm like, man, you have like destroyed this neck. It's gone. Yeah, the blister under the graphic, that's normal. That happens to all of them because of how they applied the graphic. However, the fact that that blister hasn't cracked and the lacquer hasn't fallen off, that's a big thing. And at the back of the Floyd Rose route on the top where the corners are on it, normally there's big massive cracks that actually travel outwards from it. That's a problem that happens with all of the Empire D models except for this one. So it's okay. It's a pretty cool guitar. I like it. It's quite nice. But I'm not a Queensryche fan. Queensryche fans are like almost, they're as rabid as like helmet fans. They're obsessed with like the gear that they use. It's crazy. It's like every single like bloody Page Hamilton fanboy wants over the drools over the Horizon that he used for years. Another tech brought a guitar he mangled. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. What body would they use? What, on the Queensryche, the Empire D? So the Empire D had a maple top on an alder back. Was it mahogany? I can't remember. Or am I thinking of something? No, I've got another guitar in my collection that's maple and alder. Yeah, no, maple and mahogany. Yeah, they were a very, very rare model, only available in Japan, custom order only. But there is like there's like graphics and stuff out there for them. Where is it? There's this thing. Let me bring this thing up. I want there we go. Image. There we go. 1992 catalog. Show me the. There we go. That one there. Piss off. Yes. Cool. There we go. So we go over to. There we go. So this is the 1992 ESP Japan catalog. That Bruce Kulick of Kiss. He's actually a really cool dude. He hangs around on the like the forums, like the ESP page on Facebook, and he actually answers questions, shares things there. He's actually a top dude. Yeah, so this is the Empire D. So that's the model there. They also made the Empire W, which was the Michael Wilton model. So you could only get these via custom order through ESP in Japan. And yeah, so basically the graphics on there and the logo was a whole other thing where you had, where is it? This one. Open a new tab. Where is it? There we go. So here's a link to the actual, like a listing of another one that's sold, and you can see like where the cracking has. But do you see where that graphic is on the body? So this graphic here is like it's printed. It's printed and it's underneath the white and clear coat. It's kind of cool. It's actually like a super low res, like it looks like something out of Doom. But that's there on the body. Because of how they put it on there, it starts delaminating from the body over the years and it lifts up and it creates a bubble. When it creates a bubble, what usually happens is it starts cracking through that lacquer. And then here in the back corner there, and here in that back corner, you get striation marks that go across and crack through the lacquer, the same as what you get in like the heel of a bolt neck guitar. So if you've ever had a Strat or a Tele, and they get like that crack that goes up the inside of the cutaway, it's the same thing that happens here. But the one that I have does not actually have that, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so they're really well-made guitars, really nice black piece of ebony for the fretboard and that. Yeah, just a really cool sort of bit of kit. Oh, itchy. Yeah, it's actually pixelated. That's what's kind of cool. Like, it is actually a really cool guitar. So I picked that up on my very first ever trip to Japan. This was back in the days where you could like find absolute bargains in Japan, like insane bargains. I bought that in a used goods store in Koyama, so like Fukushima. Bought that there for the equivalent of about 390 Australian dollars. Which is absolutely wild, like insane. Yeah, but it had some post lean to it. And I drilled it and did some stuff like when I brought it back to Australia. This was before I opened the actual shop, before Dr. Gear was a thing. And yeah, did it and then like put it away for ages. I never finished off for some reason. And now my drill press is gone. I don't have one, so Brad has been ever so kind enough to just sort that one out for me and drill some things. But apparently when I did it, I messed it up. And I didn't put the plugs in deep enough, so it was like a cavity underneath the maple. Not good. But hey, that's what happens when you're learning. You buy stuff and you fix it up on yourself. And this was a piece of equipment that I learned on like a decade ago. Yeah, it's just what happens. You don't. It's better than if I were to go out there and like do it on a customer's piece of equipment, as we have all seen many times before with some people. Doop 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 doop. All right. Where the fuck does this one go? Yeah, that is that. So it's that. Okay. There we go. When in doubt, back it out. I don't want to like strip out the plastic any more than I have to. So if I like back off the screw a wee bit until it goes click, so like this. There we go. That means that now the thread's actually lined up with the existing cut mark for the plastic. Doing it that way means that if someone has to remove it in future, they're not going to end up with like just screws that spin around in a hole. Spin on this copper. Excellent there. Doobie-doobie-dee, doobie-doobie-dee, doobie-doobie-dee. Okay. That one, and this one, which is good. Sweet. Okay. We'll put all that back together. Let's put the back on it. Then we can move on to the next thing, which is the guitar that goes with this. Where's the bag of screws for this? Go bag. That's not it. This one is though. Okay. Dunk. Good old magnetic bowls. So good for just making sure that things don't disappear and fly away. There it is. Screwdriver. I do really like these drivers. Japanese industrial standards, but they've got like the knurled handle in there, so I can just like put in plastics screws into like plastical things where it's like a bit more delicate and not have to worry about over torquing it. And if I need to remove a really long screw without a drill, without the drill or the driver, then I can just use this and it'll turn much quicker. Come on. There we go. Oh, lungs. Alrighty. Yeah, it's almost getting to buddy lunchtime. I got me some frozen meals that I can have. Hey, mofo, come here. There we go. And the last one, that's basically connecting ground to this to make it a big giant of a shield. Which is pretty good. Alrighty. Volume control. This thing. Probably should have just I should have cleaned that out before I did that, but whatever. You bloody idiot. Come here. There we go. Let's try it again. Okay. We'll do the plane 2. That goes on there, that goes on there. Why is my phone going crazy? Apparently someone is trying to get my attention. There we go. Excellent, eh? Alright. Where's my thingy? That's... Yep, I know I've got to deal with that. I know I've got to deal with that. Yep, that's fine, that's fine. No. Cool. There we go. Alright. This can go back on. Give it a bit of a clean. Sweet. All right. Ooh. That's going to go with that. We'll just go down here for the moment. Stay. Where's the case for that guitar? There it is. That one, yes. Let's swing over to full screen. There we go. There. So that's the guitar there. Old Godin LG XT. It does everything. It's like a one-man band type thing. So this has a trem. It's got piezo pickups in there, which can be used for standalone acoustic sounds. It's got the electric as well, and then it's got the hexaphonic output for your guitar synth stuff to trigger things there. Then you've got controls on here to be able to control the synth, including volume of your patch and that. Super, super cool things. I've seen a bunch of dudes who are better players than I am use them for things like covers gigs and all that kind of jazz, or one-man band things, and they work really quite well. But this one has a doofy jack that needs dealing with, so we're going to get that out. Deal with that PCB. Let's glue up the what's here as well. Come here. Come here, you. Okay. Let's get that off. There we go. There we go. Okay. That one there. There we go. Sweet. Alright, this can go hang up on the wall. Oh, lungs. Where's those jacks gone? There they are. Sweet. There we go. Okay. Let's get rid of my face for the most part. Let's take a look here. That's the board. What a board. Alright. So yeah, so this one uses shunting to be able to do like mix type stuff. So you got one output that's for both. So it's a mixed output, acoustic and electric. The other one is just for acoustic. So you can basically go, cool, electric out, acoustic out, both out. And the rest, as they say, is history. Probably going to glue up this plate as well. It's got a big crack through it, which is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Where's my thing? There we go. And trying to get a replacement plate like this for a Godin product in Australia is doable, but oh my god, I will be waiting months for the damn thing. Yeah, it's nothing spectacular, it's just a bit of acrylic. It's drilled and pressed, but with that wee bit of a crack there through it, so if I glue that up, then we should be good. Yeah. Rather complicated. Everything's all here, so that's the 13-pin output for the GK style pickup, so the piezo element. Then we got here the jacks. Let's not lose that. We need those little washer spacers, don't lose them. Hey, Terry mate, how's it going? Working on anything interesting today? You missed me before doing SMD stuff up close and showing off my good old man engineer spectacles. Yeah, it's really annoying when people lose like the spacing washers for these kinds of jacks when they go on there. It's like they're there to match the envelope up, because this, like, there we go, flip it over that way. You can see these are a bit longer than that, and the lip is set back a bit from this, so you need to bring them up to the same level so they both press up against the body of the jack plate. Otherwise, what ends up happening is you get this pushing backwards, these pushing forwards, and can damage your damage things like your come on, brain, work. Solder joints. That thing. My brain, no worky. Not there today. It's all gone. I need next size up on my gun. 1.3, 1.0 on there. I need 1.6. Do that before it heats up. There we go. Stay. There we go. I'm just getting a little bit of fresh solder on here as well. A bit of fresh solder will just help to deal with any oxidation or anything like that on there. Especially with this stuff, which is the good stuff. Oh god, yeah, it's got that smell of like mildewy old electronics that have sat there for ages. No, you just need to hire a cleaner, man. You've now reached a point where you are so in demand and you're so busy that you have to delegate tasks to someone else. When the business was so busy and I was working every day of the week and I had all my staff and all the rest of that, we had a cleaner come once a week to deal with all the dumb stuff at home. Things I didn't have to think about or worry. You know, the cleaning the ovens, doing the bathrooms, doing all that. In 2 hours in a week, they could do what would take me about 5. It was great. So. Ampex 2-inch tape machine. You're a braver man than I, that's for sure. Shep's tube mics. Oh, nice. They sound fun. A good old fashioned. Got to finish off that vocal stressor. I've got to do the calibration for it, but unfortunately, the scan of the service manual is like potato quality. Steve Jones apparently had a scan of it, but I haven't heard back from him, so it looks like he hasn't been able to find it. He actually had an original manual and service manual for it for sale, but someone beat me to the punch and bought it before, and I was like, you bastard. And he'd already shipped it off before it was done, before it was, before I contacted him, so I was like, he couldn't even scan it for me. What other things do I have in here that are kind of interesting? Got a buddy Ensoniq DP4 Plus that's absolutely messed. Already done the recap on it and replaced a bunch of corroded parts, but unfortunately it looks like the tracer is just that damaged that I don't know if I'm going to be able to save it. And I've already sunk so much time into it, so yay. Oh, well, that was a pad. No, it's nothing important. It's not strictly connected to anything. It doesn't appear. You bastard. Yeah, tape machines and stuff like that, I will leave those up to other people because I'd rather not, like, you know, want to off myself at the end of the day more than I already do at the best of times. Because that stuff is like black magic, man. You bastard. Yeah, 2-inch tape that's hectic. Like, you got that many tracks on such a, like, piece of material, clearances, everything, and it's all got to be, like, perfect. There was so many people out there go out and buy like one of these machines and go, oh yeah, I'll be able to get it fixed up. And then they go to someone and go, yeah, you reckon you fix this up for me? You tell them the price, like, oh, I didn't think it'd be that much. Like, dude, it's like buying an old vintage, like Ferrari or Jag or something like that. It's like, yes, these things are bloody expensive. They were expensive when they were new. You're not just going to like pick up one second hand and like spend next to nothing to fix it. All right. Cool. Managed to get these jacks off with only one lifted pad off of each. Because I had heard that the pads on here weren't great. There we go. Come on. What are you still stuck to? Yeah. Like I had some dudes come in and they another one. Like it's like the second or third time now I've had like dudes in their early 20s come in after they've bought a Silverface Twin Reverb. Oh, why is it not working? Why is it noisy? And I'm like, oh dude, you've bought yourself a one-way ticket to a very expensive repair bill. Here's why. And they're like, oh, and none of them have the money to fix them. It's like, dude, just go out and buy like a cheap modern amp. It's gonna do well for you. Unless you have the money to like service them and maintain them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same as vintage synths, man. Like, you buy a vintage synth, unless it was like a real sort of player's instrument one, like one of the ones that was on the cheaper side. Well, even that's, you know, yes and no, because some of them were like on the cheaper side, like the DX7, but they're still a nightmare to repair. Yeah, you get something like somebody goes out and buys like a quote-unquote cheap Roland Jupiter 8, and they still spend like 15 grand on it. And then they're like, what do you mean I have to spend like another, like, you know, couple of grand to get it working? And it's like, well, because this is wrong with it, this is wrong with it, this needs fixing, these are common issues. But they never, ever seem to get it. And that was $100,000 in like 1985, like 85 money. There we go. That's a bit prettier looking. Ugh. Ew, brother, ew. What is that? That's absolutely nasty. That's absolutely nasty. Don't like it. No, do not. That's bloody nasty. Let's do the other one. Yeah, I just have like I just have one price now for the Silverface Twins. Someone brings me in a Silverface Twin, it's going to be $1,200 plus tubes. That's it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because it is literally, they get pulled apart, depopulated, the boards get decontaminated, and then they get rebuilt from the bottom up, saving whatever parts can be done. You know, so usually caps and that, resistors, checking them for drift and that. That's it. There is no negotiation on that anymore. Someone brings in something like that, it's like, this is what gets done. If they don't have the money for it and they just want a quick fix, okay, cool. I will do it and I will take your money, but I don't want my name attached to that item anymore, because guess what? It is going to break in 3 months. And then you're going to come back and spend more money, or you'll go to someone else because you're too embarrassed, and they're going to be like, why didn't they just do all the work if they're a half-competent tech? It's like, well, because the guy was a tight ass and he didn't want to actually pay for it. That's why. I mean, let's be honest, Silverface Iron was damn good. Silverface Iron is solid as shit. You know, it was good Schumacher stuff that was spec'd to hell. That was the one area that CBS never cut corners on. Yeah, the sockets as well. And that's why it's like, there is no negotiations on that one there, because there are going to be Some of them that will require all the sockets to be done, others that'll require like the jacks and the weird things to be sorted, just all of that. Ampex ATR 124. No pinch roller. All of them work on tape tension. Damn! That is some weird voodoo magic there. Like, god damn. I was having enough difficulty with the Echoplex I was fixing. The tape tension was going absolutely haywire on that thing. Turns out there was a rough patch on the inside of the cartridge because the ones that Full Tone used to get manufactured were cheap pieces of shit. No surprises there. And that's right, Brad. That's what I say to people as well. I go to them, look, you can go out and buy another one for less than what it is going to cost me to fix this unit. However, you will not be able to go out there and buy one for that price that has had this level of work done to it. As I say, it's like you go out and you buy a vintage car. You can buy a cheap shitter one that's beaten to crap, that has plenty of miles on there. It's got rust in the things. That you buy it super cheap. How much are you going to spend to bring it back to life? Or you can buy one that's been fully refurbished, that's been restomodded, that's had all the good stuff done to it, and that's going to cost you a lot more. But you'll still end up paying less than if you bought one that you don't know the condition of and got it sorted from there. Yeah, see, so far I've had two out of two that have declined it because they're too broke. And then I had the other one previous to that, one of the ones that was Silver Face that had came back to me because of the fucking issue with the red base tubes. Goddamn bastard of things. Ugh. Still annoyed at that. Did I get a Silver Face Vibrolux recently? No. Just twins. Did you have someone who turned down a repair, or did you or were they coming in asking and you're like, my queue's closed, go see Dr. Gear? Because yeah, pretty much out of everyone that you basically refer my way, none of them ever come in. Nobody does. There we go. Do it top side. Yeah, see, the difference is if they came into me and they wanted a quote, I wouldn't do a quote. I can't, man. Like, it's impossible to. Unless someone comes in and something like that, and I go, look, it's going to cost you this much because there's too many unknowns. That's the only way it's happening. Like, a quote is if someone comes in with a known, and like, for example, someone comes in and they've got a pot that's destroyed to pot that was smashed off. Okay, I can give a rough idea on that. I can give a quote, and then those quotes, of course, are assuming nothing else is wrong. Something else is wrong with it. Well, how am I supposed to quote on that? Am I supposed to bite the cost of it? Nah, man. You go to a mechanic and they give you a quote when they've got certain things. Okay, you look at something, you go, sweet, all right, I can see that your shocks are blown out. You're going to need some new shocks. Here's the logbook time and that for what's expected. But you go in there and go, hey, I'm having weird issues that are intermittent with my engine. It's happening after this period of time, at this time, and it's doing this. Well, diagnostic time, you don't know. They're just going to go, hey, we can fix it, but we don't know. So we'll call you and we'll let you know. Especially on this vintage stuff. We work on electronics. It's a black art. There is so much going on inside of there, and there are so many things that we can't account for. Ugh. there are only so many known knowns that you can do. It's like what's the I got one thing for repair. It's what's the brain work. Oh, where is it? I have a headache. What's in my queue? Where's the queue? Come on. No. Which one was it? No, I must have already done it and sent it out the door, but yeah. It was one of those things where it's like, if I fix... Oh, that's right. No, it's Korg Poly 6. I have Korg Poly 6 that's in... that they bought it from a music store down in Melbourne, and Poly 6 have an issue, battery leaks, kills the board. That happened. Guys bought it, take it away, and there's issues. And I said to him, look, I know that there's going to be issues with this because that board is bad. Now, I can replace that board, and if I replace that board, that might deal with that issue. I don't know because I can't trace it, and I can't eliminate that board as a fault because it's a, it's a faulty part and that controls most of the sound. There's like, I can't go through and I can't test the SSM chips, which are known to go faulty. I can't test the master VCA. I can't do any of that kind of stuff. So for me to just determine what is up with it, I have to replace that board. That is a $590 board, and then the labor to install it and recalibrate it. And then I could do that, and there might be problems behind that as well. So I just say to the customer, look, you got two options. Either A, you can go down that route, roll the dice, that might fix it. But there also might be something behind it causing more issues that will require more time. I will call you up once I've done that initial part, and then say, look, that hasn't dealt with the issue. I've taken a bit of a poke and prod around. It might be around this area, but I don't know until I get those parts changed out, because doing those kinds of tests take more time, take more effort. It's a nightmare. Yeah, suppose that's why you get the work and I don't. You take in the stuff, and customers just know what they're going to pay. But I can't do that anymore. It happened in the past. I used to do it, and I got burnt out. I was losing money hand over fist because it didn't matter. It's like, okay, cool, I'll do that work, do this work, and then there's something else behind it. Great, now I've got to spend more time on that. Now I've got to deal with that. It was all right when I had staff members that I could deal with things, but when it's just me, nah, man. I value my time too much these days, maybe to my detriment, but whatever. Now, where is this thing? Where are we? There we go. Yeah, so, well, I was talking about, like, in general. Silver face fenders, they're just they are all too fucked to not have the full job. That's it. Unless someone wants me to just do a quick basic patch job, okay, I will do that, but I know it's just going to come back and see me. It's a nightmare. Is my audio that low? Because on this end, it seems like it's okay. Let me test and see, huh? There's the thing. No, that one there, that one there. Too many things going on. There, no, that one. I'm live, apparently. There we go. All right, test 1 2, test 1 2. How is this volume wise? Oh, god damn it. Alright, well, I'm going to have to deal with that later because God only knows what's going on. All the levels here seem like they're okay. I'm going to have to sort that out later. Whatever. How the hell am I at half the volume? There you go. Alright, well, that's a problem for later me to deal with. Got that, I got that. Because that's up, that's fine, that's there. Because everything's recording okay on that. I'm getting my green levels there, which are okay. No, because the volume should be okay. I'm getting up to like -10 on the input. All right, test 1, 2. How is this now? Is this a little bit louder? Hmm. All right. So I got the compressor going. All right, let's push that up a wee bit more. Hopefully it doesn't clip. All right, test 1, 2. Now, how can I be heard now? Am I louder now? Right. Yes, I have a compressor and a limiter and the gain and the noise suppressor. All right. I don't know. I'll deal with it properly later. I've got to go through and update it all and actually run my cables correctly. So. All right, that should hopefully be a wee bit better. Yeah. Cool. All right. They can go there. That's done now. Shiny new jack, ready to rock and roll. Turn that off. That can go out of the way over here. I don't need that now. That can turn off. Bell can hang up there. Stay. Okay, just gonna glue this bloody bit of plastic back together quickly. Ah! Fucker. Oh God. Okay. Yep. Let us talk about this absolute just dumb ass engineering exercise. 25 watts out of a single-ended KT150. Obviously, that's full Class A. But is that full, like, Class A ultralinear, or is it full Class A pentode operation? It's absolutely just dumb. Dumb as shit. Like, why? You can pull like 10 watts out of a single like KT88 or similar easily in Class A out of a single tube. What's 25 watts going to get you? Like, that's like 3 and a smidge decibels difference. It's like nothing. Fixed bias single-ended, yeah, but is it ultralinear single-ended or what? Because you can't have ultralinear single-ended. Well, I don't know if it'd be pentode. Obviously not triode, but could very well be ultralinear. Because that's how you're gonna get that much out of them. Because that's what the hi-fi guys do. Of course, it's not going to be any documentation, not on something like that. But it's dumb. It is engineering exercises in stupidity using a shitty tube that is prone to really bad microphonics, that is very expensive, that is oversized and highly sensitive. Like, the thing is massive. It's huge. To get 25 watts single-ended, that is a huge transformer. That is so much weight. Why? Make it a 10 watt. Make it a 10 watt. Use a 6550. There you go. Use a KT88. Sweet. Doing it with like a KT150 is insanity. Like, what's even the point? But, you know, gets hype, gets things. There'll be a bunch of people out there buying, go, oh, this is the most amazing amp ever. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, the tones, the glassy highs, the powerful mids, the rumbling lows. Oh, my God, until they sell it to buy the next thing that they want. Because why not? That's what they do. Yeah, so if the transformers are small, then it's probably going to be, probably not going to be 25. Probably not going to be 25 watts, really. Because, yeah, what is it? Where is it? Let me just check something here, right? There we go. There we go. There we go. EdCore do a 25 watt single-ended output transformer, 3.2k ohm, impedance, blah, 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 blah. Yes, 25 watts, 200 milliamps maximum current with a 40% screen grid tap. There we go. Let's get rid of this bloody stupid shit. There we go. All right, so for example, here is a 25 watt single-ended ultralinear output transformer. Oh God, even worse. Ugh. Good old buddy toroidals. But still, toroidal could still be ultralinear. Because if you got that, you're running high enough plate voltage and using a voltage doubler. Yeah. Where is it? Single-ended. Yeah, tube output, single-ended, 25 to 70 watts. There you go, 25 watts of output with multiple biases. 16, 25, SEA. There we go, PDF. Here we go, here's another one. Hammond 1626 SEA, single-ended audio output transformer. Frequency response 20 to 20k. And it has 25 watts output, input impedance 600 ohms, output 4816, yada, 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 yada. Screen tap at 40%. You're not getting 25 watts out of a KT150 without ultralinear. Not happening. Brad, click on the link that I put in the chat. There's a link in there, for example, for an EdCore single-ended transformer. And it weighs 9.75 pounds. What is that in non-silly units? 9.75 lb 2 kg. 4.4-ish kilograms. So that's pretty chunky. Core size of 1.5 by 2 inches. 1620 SEA. What is that? So the 1626 SEA, which is also a 25 watt single-ended output, is 4.4 inches wide by 3.75 inches deep, and height-wise is 4.59 inches. These are single-ended transformers. Yeah, 2 kilo for a toroidal. But with toroidals, you've got other considerations that take into consideration. So still, it's dumb. Like, why? Like, why? You're not getting like that much increased performance. You're not getting anything else like that. You're just getting a very heavy, oversized amp with a microphonic tube that is going to be prone to failure quite easily. Fucking stupid, I tell you what. Alright. No. I need to put on my little whip tips. Whip. Oh, give me. Oh, down I go. Yeah, it is literally, that's what I was saying. It's an engineering exercise. Yeah, great, you can do that. I honestly messed around with the idea of making a guitar amp using like ridiculously over the top like triode bloody power tubes. You know, they're bloody they're incredibly expensive, but like doing like a pure class A single-ended guitar amp that just has like one massive output tube in there but is outputting like 50 watts. Go on, give it to the cork sniffers, charge like 50 grand for the thing. JJ actually did something like that. They did an amp using audio triodes. It was hilarious. Yeah, the KT150 is only made by Tungsol, because the KT120, I think it was like one of the last new designs by Tesla before they went off and became JJ. Yeah, I'd have used a KT88 as well for something like that. RCA833, yeah. I still love it how all the mouth-breathing hi-fi nerds absolutely obsess over the like the old triodes and that. It's like, yeah, you mean the ones that were designed for use in like telephone systems and whatnot? Those ones that suddenly everyone thinks is like God's gift to audio? Yeah, they were used in like old like movie projector sound systems and that back in like the 30s and that, but that was then. This is now, man. There we go. That should do. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Imagine an amp with 3 kilovolts on the plates. I mean, back in Australia, we used to do a thing where like real men would play like old Leonards and M&Rs and have like 800 volts on the plates, 900 volts. Yeah, there we go. Philips PA amp, 1 kilowatt. Oh my god. Ready to be industrious. Nice. How about being industrial? In one of the synth groups I'm a part of, someone made a post about like how how he did some like tweaking and that to patches on I think it was an N-Sonic synth, maybe that or one of the others, one of the digital hybrid synths from the 80s, and like the sounds that were coming out of it were like really harsh, real kind of like noisy type stuff. And someone was like, "That sounds awful. It's not very good." And I'm like, "Might I introduce you to the concept of industrial music?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, those tones." Three-phase power transformer. I'm sorry, what? What? Are you insane? Oh, these things, right. Yep. I see them in all the like groups making fun of hi-fi dorks all the time. Because there are guys that do similar things now using big, massive old Soviet transmission tubes. Bloody insanity. Yeah, like the tubes, the size of those are like ridiculous. Why? Why? Oh. See, when they were doing that kind of stuff way back in the day, before they had like 70-volt lines and stuff like that for power things, they probably would have had that much power for a stadium or similar type thing. But I don't know, man. You keep telling people that, you know, there's a practical limit. That doesn't matter. Yeah, it gets exponentially difficult and weird. Weird things start happening. Cool. That should do the job here. Like, don't get me wrong. I like weird experiments. I like doing dumb shit. I like to, you know, I like doing stuff just for the sheer hell of it. But there's limits, man. There is limits. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. So now I've redone that. Oh, wait. That can go over there as well. Stay. Basement 300. Well, I mean, the 6550s do like that. Modern ones, not so much. You know, if he's gonna gig and tour with something like that, he's got to man up and pay the big bucks for like some vintage, like high quality glass. Can't just do it with like the modern stuff. Yeah, Winged C 6550s. Oh. And then fucking, what's his name? Mike Matthews basically helped to drive the that factory out of business. Because he doesn't like competition. Yeah, comes back to what we were talking about before with people not willing to spend the money to keep things going properly. If he went out there and dropped like a big chunk of money on some vintage RCA 6550s, like some old 60s ones, you wouldn't see the amp again for God knows how long. Drop the plate voltages a wee bit. There you go. Oh god. Oh, ew, ew. Oh god, do not like those types. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. There we go. Board's done. Those two pads are ripped out, so I had to solder them top side. Because I don't know why, but the through plating just did not hold onto the other side. Weird. So new jacks there, ready to rock and roll. Why is that on an angle? What the? That's a bit weird. Is that PCB on an angle? It is. Why is it on an angle? That's a bit odd. Should be nice and straight. Oh, there we go. Okay. So they can go with that. You can sell those. Much like many things, grab the parts, grab a few spares, and sell them online. Ew. Ugh. Soggy old cigars. Ugh. Awful. No thanks. If you're gonna do that shit, at least man up, you know, go hard in with cancer and get that thing sparked up. There we go. Otherwise, you just look like fucking Jimmy Savile. Ooh. No, thank you. Cool. Alright. So them's be good. That'd be good. Let's get this guitar quickly. Ah, no, 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 no. I go there, and there, and there, and there, and there. David Lynch. But then again, he had emphysema for years beforehand as well, so you smoke as much as he did, you're bound to end up like, yeah. Like, I'm hoping that I don't cop the big C, because I did smoke from, like, ages 10 to 24-ish or thereabouts. And I was a heavy smoker. Like, I was, like, you know, by the time I quit, I was a 40-a-day smoker. 40 a day! Non-stop. White Ox, too. Just perpetually doing the awful stuff. There we go. Snoop. Alright. Let's quickly get that into there. It'll do for the moment. I'm going to fit that on there. Goddamn. Alright. Let's quickly empty out those. Goddamn it, I turned off. You idiot. Actually, change it over to the right size. I see a link from EHX. Let me see what is the goings-ons. Right. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Show me potato salad. Oh my god. Why does he have a turd hanging out of his mouth? Why? Oh, it's like the kind of thing that you would send your mates circa 2007, go, oi, check out this sick video I found online, man. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup. Oh, 1 old man, 1 cigar. Looks like something that was pulled out of his diaper. Ugh. As we say here in Australia, fucking festy, eh? Fucking feral. That's why that doesn't work. Someone's actually done that previously. There we go. So someone has worked on this previously and bunked out bloody things before. Ugh. Yeah. Oh god. Just. Ugh. Ew. I feel disgusting now. Absolutely bloody terrible, I tell you what. Cool, so that's the one for the pot. And then this one is for that, okay. And you'd think with how much fucking money he's got, we'd be able to at least buy a decent fucking cigar, but no. Yeah. Hey, he's just as much a crook as the others are over there. There we go. Looks like the chipotles when I pull them out of the slow cooker. Oh yeah. One thing I do want to do if ever I get a proper place where I can set up some stuff is I want to set up a sausage making section, because a lot of the people who make the sausages for Hungarian community are getting old now and they're passing away and they're not doing it anymore. So if I want my chobai and I want the Breckner and all that jazz, then I have to start making it myself. Yeah, the Freedom amps were weird. There we go. Okay. Where's my thing? Show me that, not what I want. Where's that? Not that one. Keep going. Back further. No. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So the Freedom amps, the whole thing was they were designed to be run off like a stack of D-cell batteries. So there were small ones, the small ones were like a 12-inch speaker, but they ran on D-cell batteries. You get like half an hour or something out of them. It was insane. LDR probe you hold in your mouth. What? What on earth is that? That's a bit odd sounding. Yeah, okay, so the one that goes through. Come here. Get in the hole. I didn't. Soul Kiss LDR probe. Wait a minute. We're talking about a product here. And so. Oh my god. Right. That is a thing. Wow. Okie dokie. So it's kind of like a TalkBox wah type thing, utilizing an LDR inside of the mouth to control the. Huh. Man, the 70s, huh? Where is it? There we go. No, it won't. There we go. So what is it? There's it. Go to. There we go. There we go. That one, I'm going to go to, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Look at that thing. It's a bit of a wild one, so it goes in and then you get your output. It's like a really bad version of like the the breath controller for like the Yamaha DXs and similar type things. Oh my god. Yeah, he does have a bit of an oral fixation. Especially with kissing the asses of fucking, you know, shit people. Union busting asshole that he is. Alright. That goes there, then that goes through there. Yeah, well, he was a part of that whole period of time where Russia got absolutely screwed. Alright. Sweet. Okay, so now I should have what I need to... There and there. Yeah, to be the kind of thing that I'd probably like modify somehow. It's like years ago, like the company, they're still around now, Source Audio. One of their big products when they first started was like pedals and effects and that you could control by your hand. So you put a ring on there and like you swing your hand open and you do stuff like that and it would do like effects and like control like filters or effects or modulation or whatever else. But it just doesn't work the way that you'd hope. Like, it's awkward trying to do it while you're playing. A foot treadle works. It's a thing that works. Alright, cool. So now that I've got that in place, it should hopefully work now, and then I can get on to setting it up. But before I do that, I just want to quickly plug it in and confirm that everything is doing what it needs to do. So I'm going to grab the board, plug it in, grab some cables, and yeah, stay. Yeah, where to put it? Nope, that's right, it's over there. Nope. Seriously, where to put it? There it is. Okay. So we plug a date in there, plug date, AC in there. This one out here, which is the guitar out. Actually, just get it mix out. There you go. Make it easy. Right from mono. Yeah. Corrupt as a mofo. Alright, so I've got that there. Actually, if I go into... Yeah, because I just go into line 3 and 4, that'll do. Go line 3. Take the guitar out there. Whoa. Okay. Lift for the mono. Sweet. Now I just need a shitty strap. Got plenty of them here. There you go. Let's go for the gay strap. Okay. Okay, don't need to get my Beatles on. Cool. Alright. Right. Alright. So mix out there. Okay, so the jacks are now working, but the problem is that there is an issue with the actual the mix output. So I'm gonna have to check to see if this version actually had a mix out, because maybe it doesn't. No, I want that one to go to there. There we go. Let me just quickly grab the GK cable. I'm gonna put the bloody GK cable. Bloody thing. Where is the cable? Cable, 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 come here. Too many things everywhere. So it was in there. I put it in there. Hey, bloody thing. Not there, not there. Where has it gone? Seriously, where did I put this bloody cable? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. God damn it. It was with its case. Where to put it? No, 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 no. Okay, seriously, where the hell did this cable go? I put it back with the... Put it back with it. Why is it not there? Hmm. It's not there, it's not there. Is it fallen? Did I drop it? Yeah, I dropped it. No, because I didn't put it up there. Yeah. Right. Yeah, Terry, mate. Thank you for coming along. Enjoy, have fun. Catch you on the next time. Okay, seriously, where the hell did I put this cable? Because I know it's here. Question is, where is here now? That's not it, that's not it. That's not it. Where the hell did it go? Oh, that sucks. I have to find where I put this goddamn cable. Because I had it and I put it away with everything. But now it's not where I put it. I put it in the case with the guitar. That's the back plate and that's everything there for it. Pedals there. Pulling down this way. No. Up there. It is not. Didn't pull there. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go find this cable. That's probably about it for me for today, because I need to do a bit of housekeeping and find where I put this damn cable. And then once I've got the cable, I can sort out what I'm doing with that. But yeah, at least I managed to get that dealt with now. So I've got guaranteed outputs for the... sorry, I've got the synthesizer unit that's actually storing patches now. It's no longer dumping them, which is good. And I've got... what's the jacks now not cutting out, which is good, because they were cutting out previously, which wasn't great. Yeah, no. God damn it. How annoying. Alright. Well, yeah, I'm going to bail, because it's lunchtime as well. Actually, it's way past lunchtime. God, it's 2 o'clock. Alright. So yeah, thanks for coming along and joining. I'm out of here. Catch you later.